They are precious and irreplaceable. We're talking about pictures, of course. Well, joining us to talk about how you should manage your collection and keep them safe for years to come is Rhoda Gordon, owner and certified photo manager for Sunflower Photo Solutions. I'm loving this segment because I've got exactly what you got on this table. I have all these photos, the old photos from the 90s and the 80s and, you know, back many years. It's a daunting task to try to think about digitizing everything. What is the first piece of advice that you would give people when they're faced with all of this?
Well, my first piece of advice is you're not alone.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, everybody has boxes and bags of photos stored around their house, maybe in the attic, the garage. And yes, our first go-to is, oh, maybe I should digitize it, it'll back everything up. Yeah. But that actually is making a mistake because you end up digitizing a chaos of photos. Right. And what do you get back but a digital chaos? And you can't make heads or tails, and it's much harder because you're not looking at what's in the file to actually organize it. So the first step really is to gather all your photos into one location so you can assess what you have. And also because, honestly, our photos are deteriorating every day.
They are.
The print photos especially, and other print media. And heat and humidity are the worst culprits. So, you know, if you're storing your stuff in an attic or garage or a storage facility or even at, you know, Aunt Sadie's house, get them all in one place. Okay. And then you can move on. And the same goes, I'm going to talk about digital as well. Get them all in one location and copy them all to a main library. Okay. I use an external hard drive, which I think is a great way to have all your media in one place, but you can do it on your computer as well. But get it into one location.
And up in the cloud too, because that doesn't get wet. That doesn't, no, it's not
it doesn't.
Risk of humidity and things like that.
Yes, and that is actually your last step, is to make sure everything is backed up.
Okay.
But before that, I would even say you start with the organizing.
Yes.
So that you can pare it down. You don't need to save everything.
Yeah.
So my first step in organizing.
Boxes like this. Yeah.
I actually created a DIY print photo organizing kit to help people organize at home. And I use these cards. I call them gold, silver, and trash. And it allows people, one box at a time, to quickly sort through their photos and pare down their collection. So the gold are the photos you want to show. Yes. Like either put in a frame, use at a future event, maybe a wedding, as a slideshow or some other memorial. And also that you want to have quickly at hand, maybe for the holidays to share with family. Okay. Your silver pile are the really important photos. They bring up memories and they tell your story. But you don't need to access them as often, you just need to save them. And then the trash pile, wow. That's everything else, all those duplicates.
Duplicates, I know. So many times I remember my mom going to the photo shop and, you know, she says, well, make sure we get duplicates of it. Well, we end up just having 2 of everything now. Yes. So you go through this step and then you come to this. And I love how you have each of these chunks of photos organized by the year, but whenever, if I may just pick one of these, I always look to the back to see if maybe there's a year printed on the back, and so often it looks like this where it's faded, and maybe it is, maybe it's not. And not every photo actually has a year of when it was printed.
Not everyone.
So how do you know what year this is all happening in?
Yeah, so what I suggest, first off, if you were going to look in the back, I would always use a magnifying glass. It does help, honestly, for a lot of things, including looking at what's in the background to give you clues. But what I do is I suggest, and I have resources online as well, to create a family timeline. So you literally map out your family's milestones, where you lived, what pets you had, and then all the important milestones, marriages, births, graduations. And then you can actually physically create a timeline. I have a big roll of paper in here where you create a physical timeline and you take your gold pile and you put it on the timeline based on all the milestones you have.
How long would you say this took you?
For me, this maybe a couple days.
A couple days, okay.
Like, you know, not working. Listen, I also suggest people do not work more than an hour to an hour and a half at a time. You don't want to get so fatigued that you don't want to go back to it.
That's right, yeah.
But if you only get it down to your show, save, and trash, you have done an amazing job.
Where can people get this kit?
Yeah, you can go to my website, digyourphotos.com, to get the DIY print photo organizing kit. It has all the instructions and all the tools, including the magnifying glass, cotton gloves, everything else to help you with your print photos, organizing them. And then once they're like this, you should digitize them because that will create a backup and allow you to color correct. As you said, everything faded.
That's right.
Yeah, so you want to bring your photos back to life.
Thank you so much, Rhoda. Appreciate it.
Thank
We'll be
you.
back in 2 minutes.